Okay, two of the themes of world history are one of the themes of world history is religion, and one of the themes of world history is political system. Okay, we could refer to these in a different context. Maybe today we could call this church and call this state. Because the political systems, like Canada's a political system, U46, they're basically the state. We say the state of Canada, state of Poland, state of US. So a political system could be a state. So you got church and state here, church and state, okay. Now anciently, in these civilizations that we're studying now, like Egypt or Mesopotamia, let's see, you're going to get into Mesopotamia, or we'll get into in chapter 2 Israel and some other ones. So what characterizes all these ancient civilizations? What characterizes all these ancient civilizations is that the church and the state are one. The church and the state are merged. So the church and the state are all merged. The church and the state are combined in all of it. So the Pharaoh, he's the head of the religion. He's connected to God. He is also the head of the state. He's the president, the prince, the dictator. He's the head of both. The church and the state in the ancient world were always combined. They were one. The leader in Mesopotamia would be the religious leader and the political leader. So the history of the ancient world is that the church and the state, or that is to say religion and the political system, were just fused into one. Okay. Now, red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. Okay. Red, white, and blue. So the field of the flag is blue. Okay. And these are, that and then. Okay. In the United States, the church and state were separated. In the United States, the church and state were separated. James Madison called it an experiment. It had never been done before. The history of the world was always that the church and the state are combined into one. But then here comes America, and we give people, in the First Amendment, we give people freedom of religion. It's the very first freedom. Before freedom of speech, before freedom of the press, the very first freedom in our Bill of Rights is freedom of religion. Now, you did not have freedom of religion over here. The Pharaoh, who was God, if he says this, if you say, I don't believe in that, off with his head. You were part of the big religion, or else. And there's a story in the Bible about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in Babylon, ancient Babylon, one of these societies in Mesopotamia. They wouldn't worship the God. They got thrown into a furnace. That story is exactly what would have happened in any one of these places. So America comes along. James Madison calls it experiment. Let's try and separate the church and state. Let's see if we can do that. It's never been done before. Let's try it. I would say it's the most successful experiment in the history of the world, in that I was remarking with my wife yesterday, all the mosques that are going up around here. There's religious freedom in America. There's Catholic churches, there's mosques, there's that big Hindu temple, stone's throw from here. There's a diversity of religion because we allow freedom of religion. And the state's not in charge of it. The state's not running that Hindu temple. The state is not running that Catholic church. The state is not running that mosque. Individual people are.